Hi, welcome back to the ProShop Vault. This is the third video in the series of videos I'm currently doing introducing the ProShop Vault to the world. In the last video we touched on the customer and inventory vault interaction and how you assign sold items to your customer and how seamless that is, and now we're just going to show you something similar in terms of how you assign any type of work that you do in the shop for the customer. So if I start off with the customer vault again, within the customer vault you can look for your customer, find your customer, and as I showed in the last video, it shows us all our purchases, etc, but it also shows us the services. So you click on the services tab and it'll give us a list of all the services that this customer's ever had from your shop. And that comes directly from the services vault. So I just wanted to show you how that interacts. I can go from this screen to add a service, and that should take me to the services vault. Who's this for? So now it's already linked my name for the ticket. What does this customer want done? All of this information here is settings that you can do in the administration vault in terms of the services that you offer. So let's say, for argument's sake, this particular customer, now we can just choose that one, no big deal. You can add some more details around what that service is. You can take a picture of the bowling ball if you wanted to, and you just therefore create the ticket. Once the ticket is created, it will appear on the dashboard as a new ticket, and there it is there, the house resurface, and it says pending review. If something is pending review, all it means is you've checked it in, but you've actually not started any work yet. So when the time comes to start doing that particular service, you would just go onto the edit key, go into here and change the status from pending review to in progress, for example. You save that, and the customer will now get a text message saying that the work is in progress, and they'll be kept informed as it goes. And then when you finally finish it, you just go back to your main dashboard, edit that item again, and say it is now ready. Or if it was another type of service and you ran out of inserts or whatever, the inserts are on back order, you can then let them know by clicking the awaiting parts, and then they will receive a text message explaining that. But in this instance, it is now complete. We say, it's ready for pickup, not complete. Ready for pickup. We can add some more notes here if we wanted to. We save that, and that should now appear as ready in the service vault. If I want to see all the ones that are ready, I can simply go to the status tabs and look at all the balls that are ready. Ready for pickup, should I say? My fingers aren't working today. So these are the ones that have been marked as ready. For example, that's the one I did it previously. And when the customer comes in and has finally paid for the item, you just say that it's been paid for, and now you're going to move it from ready to complete, because now it's no longer in your store, you've got your money, and the ball is now gone. And that's it. That's as easy as that. A couple of clicks, and each time you change the status of the job, the customer gets a text message. So when you hit the ready key, receive a message saying please come and collect. He doesn't necessarily receive an information saying completed, because he knows it's complete because he's already got the ball in his car, kind of thing. The other parts on this dashboard, you can see what jobs are currently in progress by clicking on the in progress button. That should just show you the in progress jobs. You can see all the active queue. That will show you all the jobs that are currently active or completed, show you all the completed jobs. And of course you can go into this and have a look if you wanted to as well. And then there's a big one here in the front that says self check-in. There's a big alert that pops up when there's a self check-in. So what is the self check-in? The self check-in is when the shop is closed and somebody wants to drop a ball off. I'm sure, as you all know, either your shop door is open if you're in a certain type of bowling centre and people just drop things off, leave stickers and labels or post-it notes on them, and then you're meant to try and guess what's going on in the morning when you walk into the store, or they'll leave it behind reception, and the conversation between the receptionist and what the guy wants might be something different to what your understanding of what you can do or can't do in the store. So this is trying to eliminate some of that. And I'll quickly go through that actually. I was going to do that in another video because I wanted to keep these short. So your shop is closed, but there's a league on, and at the end of that league, 10 o'clock at night, somebody wants to leave something behind. They've got two options: leave it at reception or have a secure location. Now I'm currently working on a smart lock that can be retrofitted to an existing bowling center type locker that can integrate with the system. So things like the secure passwords to open up the locker, the one-time passwords to put the stuff in, and then in the morning you guys can go in and take that stuff out. Or you don't have to be that advanced. You could just have a normal locker with a key system where someone hands the key to reception, or you have a letterbox where you drop the key in. Or it would be the normal situation where if the reception does do this, they will intake the ball for you, and then you would collect that in the morning. So to activate the self-check-in system, you can simply just click on the self-check-in tab. Did I touch that? Must have touched that. Did it open? No. I'm telling you, I've got hard skin on my fingers, and this touchscreen on my tablet is not the best. Come on. There we go. So I was touching the wrong thing. Right, so that's what the self-check-in screen will look like. Nothing out of this world. It's just a simple QR code. So you could have a screen in your shop that is viewable from a window. People just need to use their phone, scan that QR code. There's also a link here that says open the self-check-in link. That could be at reception, or you could simply just print off the QR code, leave one at reception, leave one stuck on your window. There's some information here on the left, and the most important one is a drop-off reminder, which I think is great because a lot of people just tend to leave all their bowling balls in a bag with shoes and all their accessories just on your shop floor, which can be a pain, especially in smaller shops. So we encourage people not to leave anything but the ball behind. Anyway, let's go through the self-check-in process. So I'm going to use this little tab here. So again, we'll have an option to enter just a mobile phone this time, not a name. We don't want to. If I start entering a few letters of a name, what normally happens is you'll see a whole list of names, and then you just choose your name. And that's not very secure in this environment. We don't want people seeing all lists of other people's names. So you simply just enter your phone number, and if you're new, never used the shop before, you just hit I am new. And if you hit the I am new tab, you then have an option to enter your name and your email address, as well as your phone number. Or I can just simply say, I am existing customer. I'll enter a number, and I think I've got a whole bunch of 555 numbers. I go find my record, and there's a guy in there called Paul that happens to be associated with that number. If that is you, you carry on. You then go into this menu and you decide, well, what is it that I want doing? And I'm saying, I want this pull plugged and re-drilled. You hit that, you can add some notes, you can add some extra detail, take a photo of the serial number if you wanted to. And again, there's the warning flag, just give me the ball, don't give me everything else. And then you just hit the check-in button. Once you hit the check-in button, you'll get a ticket number. And at this point, it's advised that you write that ticket down onto the bowling ball. And then from there, you either drop it at reception or you put it in the locker. And at this point, you also get a text message saying that it's now, now in the system. It's pending review. Now if I go back here and do a refresh on this page quickly, I should have two balls at self-check-in. So now in the morning when I come back in, I log into the system, I see, oh yeah, somebody dropped some balls off last night. I go and collect them from reception, excuse me, or from the locker that we've assigned for secure drop-offs. And I can just click on that tab and that will show me the ones that have been dropped off. And again, it's the same process now. Once I start the work, it's in progress. Then I receive a text message and the same process starts all over. By the way, these little secure pop-ups that I keep popping up, it's not part of the normal system when it's online. This is running from my home network at home. I'm currently at home. This is running on my laptop. So my PC is communicating with my laptop via this application, and my laptop is not running any HTTPS security. So we get these errors saying that the site might not be secure. This won't be the case when it's actually on a proper website that has HTTPS. So don't worry about that. Those pop-ups will not keep occurring in the real environment. And that's basically how the self-check-in works, how the Service Vault assigns services to your customers. And then there's a lot of other things within the Services Vault. If I go into these settings here, for example, there is the inventory where we can now manage some of the inventory. And just saying, so I've obviously not populated the database with many items. So I've got 4 items in the inventory. I've got 1 low on stock. I've got none that's out. And stock value is currently sitting at $118. And all I've got is a couple of inserts in stock. And there's a whole management platform behind all of this that allows you to set these categories, allows you to set low stock alerts, and allows you to basically manage your service inventory. So you know exactly how many inserts you've got, and also when you sell an insert, or i.e. you plug a ball or you drill a ball, you go into the inventory to assign it to that particular ticket. So for example, if I can find one who wants a plug and a redraw, like for example that one that's in progress, click on the edit button, and in this area here I can say, right, I'm going to put in number 5 vice insert, and I can add another number 6 for the other finger. That then adds those inserts, so I know now from stock I've taken 2 out. And of course, if you accidentally break an insert or damage an insert, again, you just simply add it here so that it keeps your stock count accurate. I know there's going to be some spillage and some wastage of many different items within your services, but if you want to keep an accurate count of your stock, it's important that you do that. Obviously, that won't get charged to the customer, but it will come out of your profit margin because you've now lost an item that you were going to sell and now you're not, if you know what I mean. So again, you just save that. So if I were to go back into that customer again, I would see exactly the same screen. And I can then change and say it's ready once the work is complete and when it's come and collected and paid. Save that. And there we go. That's a quick insight into the Services Vault. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes on in the background, and there is some admin stuff that you need to do to get the most out of the system. But as I'm starting to build up my catalogs, I now have information from JoPro that will allow me to import all those part numbers. So when you receive JoPro items in your store at the moment, you would simply click on a barcode and it'll populate the inventory for you. At the moment now, this is stuff that I've added manually because the services catalog, I've got a lot of parts in there. I just don't have the numbers, so there's no point adding it to the system if I don't have the part numbers themselves. So I'm busy collecting all of that data. So these two, the inventory catalog and the services catalog, are the last 2 pieces that I need to tie in the 3 main vaults: Customer Vault, Individual Vault, and Services Vault, as a complete package and ready for market. So the whole idea behind all of this is I'm not waiting to have all 17 vaults, well, there's not that many, sorry, all these vaults ready and completed before we can go to market with it, before it's going to be useful for stores. At the moment, as I said, at the moment, the Customer Vault is ready. You can use it right now, today. And I'll go into some more details on how we go from paper to digital in the next couple of videos. And after that, I'm probably a couple of weeks away from finalizing the inventory and the Services Vault. So those will then be available, and they tie into the website vault. So that'll follow a few weeks after. Because obviously once we have stuff in your inventory, that can appear straight onto your web page immediately, seamlessly. You don't have to do anything, and all I really need to do is get those templates a bit more streamlined and a bit more professional. I've just got a test template for your website at the moment, and I'll have a couple of options around you doing some bespoke design for yourself by doing a couple of clicks. So as you know, trying to host your own website takes a lot of time and effort. This is trying to take a lot of that away from you, so that if things go into inventory, they appear on your website. It's as simple as that, really. You don't have to pay extra hosting fees somewhere else. You don't have to get somebody to market it or manage it. It simply sits within the system and it's available online to your customers as well. Okay, I'm going to end the video here, and in the next video we'll go into some more detail into the Customer Vault. along with the paper spec sheets, and then the inventory vault, along with importing a bowling ball into the inventory. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.